friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Kids Fun Magic World. Friends, today our topic is the role of tribal in uprising in the Indian freedom struggle. Essay in English. The Indian freedom struggle was a multifaceted movement that saw participation from various sections of society, each contributing uniquely to the overarching goal of independence from British colonial rule. Among these, the tribal uprisings stand out as significant yet often overlooked events that highlighted the indigenous peoples' resistance against colonial exploitation and oppression. The tribal communities, deeply rooted in their traditions and land, resisted British policies that threatened their way of life, making their uprising an integral part of the larger freedom movement. Historical context of tribal uprising. The British colonial administration introduced policies that severely impacted the tribal populations. The imposition of land revenue system, the introduction of cash crops, and the appropriation of forest land for commercial exploitation disrupted the traditional livelihoods of tribal communities. The Forest Acts in particular restricted the rights of tribals over the forest they had depended on for generations. This exploitation led to widespread discontent and a series of uprisings across the country. The late 19th and early 20th century witnessed several significant tribal uprisings, including the Santhal Rebellion 1855 to 1856, the Munda Rebellion 1899 to 1900, and the Bodo Uprising 1930. Each of these uprisings was driven by a combination of socio-economic factors, a longing for autonomy, and a deep-seated resentment against colonial injustices. Major uprising and their impact. First, Santhal Rebellion 1855 to 1856. The Santhal Rebellion is one of the earliest and most significant tribal uprising against British rule. The Santhal tribe, residing primarily in present-day Jharkhand, Bihar, and West Bengal, faced severe exploitation from moneylenders and landlords who took advantage of the British land revenue system. Led by the Santhal brothers Sidhu and Kannu Murma, the rebellion sought to establish a Santhal Raj free from both British and local feudal oppression. The uprising resulted in violent confrontations leading to the death of many British officials and local oppressors. Although it was ultimately suppressed, the rebellion raised awareness about the plight of tribal communities and highlighted the need for socio-economic reforms. It also inspired future movements by emphasizing the importance of self-governance and autonomy. Second, Munda Rebellion 1899 to 1900. Another significant uprising was the Munda Rebellion led by the charismatic tribal leader Birsa Munda. The Mundas, a tribal community in the Chota Nagpur plateau, were subjected to similar injustices as the Santhals, including land dispossessions and forced labor. Birsa Munda's movement, which combined religious fervor with anti-colonial sentiment, sought to restore the Munda Raj and eradicate the British presence. Birsa's call for a Dharam religious revival resonated deeply with his community, leading to a widespread mobilization against colonial authorities. The rebellion showcased the potent blend of tribal identity and nationalist sentiment. Though this uprising was eventually quelled, Birsa Munda became a folk hero and symbol of resistance, inspiring future generations. Third, Bodo Uprising 1930. The Bodo Uprising in Assam, although less well known, was another crucial chapter in the narrative of tribal resistance. The Bodos, facing similar issues of land alienation and cultural suppression, revolted against the British policies that marginalized their community. The struggle was not only about reclaiming land but also about asserting their cultural identity and rights as indigenous people. This uprising highlighted the intersection of tribal rights and broader nationalist aspiration, illustrating how tribal communities contributed to the fight against colonial rule while simultaneously asserting their descent identities. Contributions to the national movement. Tribal uprisings significantly contributed to the Indian freedom struggle in several ways. Firstly, they highlighted the brutal realities of colonial rule, drawing attention to the plight of marginalized communities. Leaders like Birsa Munda become symbols of resistance, inspiring others to join the national movement. Their struggle underscores the fact that the fight for independence was not merely a political battle but also a social one, addressing the grievances of the oppressed. Secondly, tribal movements fostered a sense of unity among diverse communities, transcending regional and linguistic barriers. The collective resistance against colonial oppression created a shared identity among various tribal groups, which eventually contributed to the broader nationalist discourse. Furthermore, the uprising forced national leaders to recognize and include tribal issues in their agendas. Figures like Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru began to acknowledge the importance of tribal rights and the need for their inclusion in the national movement, leading to more comprehensive understanding of Indian society's complexities. Challenges faced by tribal communities. Despite their significant contributions, tribal communities faced numerous challenges during the freedom struggle. Their struggles were often marginalized in the larger narrative of independence movement. The mainstream national leaders tended to prioritize urban and upper caste interests, sidelining tribal issues. This lack of representation resulting in a disconnect between tribal aspirants and a national agenda, leading to feeling of alienation among tribal population even after independence. Additionally, post-independence policies often failed to address the historical injustices faced by tribal communities. Land reforms and developmental policies frequently overlooked tribal rights, leading to continued marginalization. Conclusion. The tribal uprisings played a crucial role in shaping the Indian freedom struggle, embodying the resistance against colonial rule and asserting the rights of indigenous communities. While they have often been overlooked in mainstream narratives, their impact is undeniable. The courage and resilience of tribal leaders like Sidhu, Kanu, and Birsa Munda continue to inspire movements for social justice and equality in contemporary India. Recognizing the contributions of tribal communities not only enriches our understanding of the freedom struggle but also highlights the ongoing need for inclusive policies that address the right and aspiration of marginalized groups. The legacy of tribal resistance serves as a reminder that the fight for justice and equality is an essential component of any struggle for freedom. Thank you friends for watching my video. Friends, I hope you like my video. Friends, if you like my video, so please subscribe, share and comment. Bye friends.